Hey guys, it's Kevin from Trad Geeks, and today we're going to do the bow review on these 4 super curved bows. So we have the Border with the CVX limbs, the Zipper with the Z4 limbs, the Bushman Spartan, and then the Packout Heavy with the Morrison Max 5 limbs. So it's not going to be a side-by-side comparison, but we're going to try to give the most statistical data we can on each individual bow. So we have some different bow lengths, and some of the weights vary by maybe a pound, but we're going to try to keep all the strings the same, all Fast Flight Plus, 16 strand with silencers, no quivers on the bows. So we're going to test for performance, the speed, the draw cycle, the harmonics or sound, and then obviously just our personal input on comfortability or smoothness of the bow. So should be fun. We're gonna put this together, and hopefully the results speak for themselves. All right guys, we have my friend Aaron with us. He is gonna help us do the review. He's good with this stuff and he loves super curves, so it makes it fun. Plus he's an engineer, so that always helps. But the Border is gonna be 62 inches and it is 50 pounds at 28 inches. The Z4 is also, it's 52 pounds. It's a 58 inch bow at 28 inches. The Bushman is a 50 pound bow at 28 inches and it's 62 inches long. And then the Packed Out Heavy riser with the Max 5 limbs will be 60 inches and it's 50 at 28.
So what we're going to do, we're going to develop a draw force curve for each one of these super curved limbs we're doing. It's nothing super scientific. We're just going to mark the weight at every inch of draw, and then using that info we'll develop the draw force curve. Just for keeping the bows uniform, we're going to brace everything at about 7 1/4 inches.
Aaron and I shot and tested pretty much all the bows. We found, what, pretty similar results?
Yeah, overall I'd say they're very similar.
Very similar, some sound discrepancies, some speed, but very minor. We're gonna let the results kind of speak for themselves. So at the end of this review, Mark's gonna have some of the graphs that we've done, and you can take a look at them. We're not trying to do a side-by-side comparison with these bows, but an overall review of each individual bow, and you guys can take from it what you would like. But I would definitely highly recommend, if you have a chance to pick one up, draw it back, shoot them, because there are some things that one person might like that the other doesn't.
Right. I mean, I think the key to keep in mind with all this is they were not the same specs on every bow. They weren't a 17-inch riser with long limbs. I mean, we had 58-inch bows, 60-inch bows, 62-inch bows.
Yeah, there were some variations there. Poundage was pretty spot on.
Right.
Brace height was all the same. The strings were all 16 strands. So everything was pretty similar other than the length. But again, you know, there are some big comparisons there.
Right.
So.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you were at 10 grains per pound?
10.5 grains per pound with the arrow. So yeah, it was fun.
It was impressive.
Got all the results. Aaron compiled these charts for us that we'll be posting, so you'll be able to see as I kind of go down through the list of the actual data that we collected. Now, the the draw force curves, that just is showing the change in pounds as far as the draw length goes, so that's going to be the first line on there. So you'll be able to see kind of that draw cycle for each bow. Then the bar underneath it is the weight increment graph. So that shows the amount of pounds that change between the inches of draw length. So you can kind of see how they compare as far as where the weight was added during that draw cycle. In the upper right hand corner, we do have the bow data, so the length and the poundage of each bow, what they drew at. And then just to let you guys know the speeds of each bow and the noise, how we measured those. Obviously we shot through a chrono for the speed. Arrow weight was 10.5 grains per pound. And then the noise, we used a RTA. It was a phone RTA, so the variation on that, we'd say we have plus or minus about 2 to 3 dB as far as the accuracy there. And then we shot multiple shots and averaged out the speed, as well as took multiple readings of that sound. So as far as the quietest bow, the Zipper ZXT, the Zipper, the Bushman, and the Morrison were all within 1 or 2 decibels of each other as far as what they averaged out being. So the way that decibels work, a change of 3 decibels is a perceived volume change. Like if you're running sound and mixing a sound at a concert, if the volume is increased by 3 decibels, you kind of notice that sound change a little bit. So all 3 of those bows kind of fall within the same audible spectrum of there's not really a perceived difference in sound of them. But the Zipper was the quietest, then the Morrison and the Bushman, and the Border was about 5 to 6 decibels louder than the other 2, or than the other 3. But they all, like I said, they were all really close together. The speeds, the fastest bow was actually the Morrison, and then the Zipper, and the Bushman and Border. So they're all within 10 feet per second of each other. All were really, really, really similar as far, like the specs will show. So feel free to pause and look at what the specs actually were on them. But we were pretty pleased with all 4 of the bows that we shot. I didn't get to shoot them as much as Aaron and Kevin, so if you have any questions on how the grips feel, the smoothness of them, feel free to leave that in the comments. We'd love to kind of chat with you about more of our personal preferences on them if you have those questions. But I didn't really shoot them all that much. I was doing the recording, and so yeah, I think that's about it. We'll have these charts available for you to look at and go from there. Thanks for watching. Hope it was informative, and take it easy.